Today it's time for a BIOS update. I'm going to 2.1. This system can be seen under VMware. We actually see the BIOS release. This is called the ESXi host client. We're pointing our browser straight to the server, the web server that's built into ESXi hypervisor, and you can see the BIOS version right there. And then finally, we've got IPMI all queued up and ready to go. We're going to want to log that in. And then head on over to maintenance, where we can see BIOS update. Now the article gets into the details here, but basically the downloads are not very large. We can read the readmes, we can accept the agreement, and get the BIOS file downloaded. Let's get IPMI too while we're over here, because I might need that as well. Haven't actually checked. Okay, so that's done. And then I give the procedure. And I talk a little bit about if you want to boot off an alternate boot device. Now there is an easier way. There's multiple ways to do that. Let me show you. So this maintenance way is through IPMI. It cost, I think it was $10 to get a license to do this. So once that was present, I was now able to do BIOS updates much easier. I don't need to worry about changing boot order or any of that stuff. So we need to choose that BIOS file. Okay, it's a zip file. So it looks like I really want to extract that thing. Okay, there's the image file, the B22 file. And if we have a look at the README, it should confirm that. Yep, the BIOS name. I want to show you that again. Did you see that? Unplug AC. Now they tell you clear the CMOS. That is pretty extreme. Okay, so I'll admit I've been lazy on this, and I think a whole lot of people don't bother to clear it every time. But if we do have an issue, Supermicro support's probably going to ask you to do that anyway, right? Just point that out. All right, so now that we're done with the extraction, head over to the folder we extracted to, point to the B22 files, by far the biggest file in that folder, and say update BIOS. You'll see it says uploading status there at the bottom. So if we look here, we can see the bits flying up over the Ethernet adapter, and it looks like the file's already been sent. It's a tiny file. You can see I'm going ahead by about 15 months or so, from 2.0 to 2.1. I'm going to go ahead and preserve the settings, but what is done in my experience is reset them to factory default anyway. And I know what they are. That's all actually covered in my article, so it's no big deal if we end up at factory default. Yeah, I've got all that documented. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the start upgrade. Okay, it says, do you want to reset the system, right? Sure, but remember, we're going to power off anyway. Unplug the power, clear the CMOS. Okay, so they've had those directions around forever. All right, I'm going to say yes. And it says the remote platform will reset immediately. So once it clicks on that, I'm going to go over to the machine and go ahead and unplug the power cord, just like I was requested to do. And it looks like we can actually have a quick peek at this main screen here and see the IPMI version is 3.68. And we want to go to 3.86. So we've got an update there to do as well. You can see the video just came back, so yeah, I'm going to go pull the power cord, be right back. Stand by. Okay, done running around. I knew right away that it reset because when I plugged the power cord back in, the system started booting right away. It powered up right away. And I had set to stay powered off until you hit the power switch. So yeah, I'm back at factory defaults. So IPMI, the little web server there for IPMI, the 10-watt little mini computer inside, that's not responding yet. So I can't even log in because it was powered so recently here. Got myself logged back in here shortly. All right. So also, after you do a BIOS upgrade, it can reboot twice typically. So if you have a local monitor, you'd see it reboot twice. I think it's probably already, it might have already done that because it's probably been a minute and a half now since the update. So the first one, it's like looking for memory DIMMs and starting a factory fault. Then it recognizes the memory and then it reboots a second time. Pretty sure that's what just happened. So I'm going to hit delete to get into setup. And it worked. You saw it echo that. And if we go here into preferences, looks like the image quality is already good, so we'll leave that alone. There, it's okay. So now there's more to this. We can do a little window resizing first of all. Okay, that's a little weird, but whatever. And over this window, I'm going to talk about the BIOS settings. Open that in a new tab, say. And I've got a video walkthrough and I've got a guide with words. Let's see if I'm at defaults. Boot shows as dual mode. Yep, that's factory default. So I'm going to skip over step 4 because I'm already at factory default. So that's very clear to me. And now I'm going to go to advanced because I'm now in step 6 and go to boot feature. And I'm just going to walk through and turn these things on. Unlock off. Actually going to turn off quiet boot. I want to see a splash screen, more stuff going on. Okay. What else? Power button, 4 seconds. I want to hold it down. Restore, I want it to stay off. Great, hit escape, go over to SATA configuration. Just keep on cruising down the list. Change everything to SSD. That's a spinny drive, that's a spinny drive. That's a spinny drive, that's an SSD. Port 3, that's Western Digital. This is a solid state drive. So basically I'm changing the things that I know are SSDs to SSDs. I have a 2 gig and a 4 gig SATA SSD in there, and the rest is just spinning drives, hard disk drives. And there's actually some spin up stuff in there, so we can actually change that if you want. You can actually do a little bit of a staggering. And when you got a bunch of drives like that, it's not a bad idea. It does slow the boot a little bit. Only slightly. Okay, so now we got staggered boot going. Cool. Moving along, I hit escape. So yeah, it's a little bit of a pain that after BIOS updates on this particular system, you get to go through this. But having it documented sure makes it easier. Okay. Now this is if I had a bifurcation setting. I need to turn it on. I do not. So if you have something like an Optane or an M.2 slot used in a riser card, a PCI card, you'd be messing around. I don't need to do that, but I do have bundle one with GPU. That's the system I'm using. So I'm going to go to VGA priority and go to outboard, offboard. Okay. Okay, now I'm ready to go to boot mode. Change this sucker to UEFI. I don't want dual. So we want the SanDisk way on top. And it talks about that. Change your priority if you need to. Save and exit. And reboot. So now we're going to see a warning that my VGA, my video is being redirected. Okay, I'm getting a little concerned. Okay, there it is. And log back into out-of-band management, IPMI. And now it's time to get firmware 368 to 386. So let's go to maintenance. Okay. I don't have any fancy IPMI settings. Like, have I changed them? Do I need to save and load them? I don't. So I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to go to firmware update over here. Puts the device in a special mode, and it warns me. You sure? The device can be rebooted at the end. Okay, notice it hasn't actually done anything yet, so we can wait for ESXi to boot while we stage this, while we get this ready. So in the Supermicro, the Redfish zip, let's see, gonna need to extract that. Okay, and we get a little update procedure, and this one's in Microsoft Word format. But really, it's this bin file we want to point to. And basically, it's telling us to do what we're talking about right here. Send the device, reset it. And here we go. All settings will be reset. They want us to uncheck preserve configuration, so you're going to see that in a moment here. All right, so the Redfish folder has the unsigned bin file. But remember, I want to kick this off. I want to gracefully shut down the ESXi host with all its VMs. Okay, ESXi is going down. In 10 or 15 more seconds, it'll be down. And all will be well again. All right, upload the firmware now. It says it may take a while. Actually, generally no. Here's our Ethernet. It's sending at 10 megabits per second, which is not really all that fast. But it's not a very big file. In the bottom left, you see upload status. Okay, remember the preserved configuration that I mentioned in the Microsoft Word document, that they do not want me keeping it? This screenshot is old, and it doesn't show all the checkboxes. It has 2. I'm going to uncheck all 3, per Supermicro's recommendation. They just haven't updated the document. It's really the third one's about the SSL cert anyway. And I'm using HTTP. Let's see if it redirected. Yeah. So turn them off. Start upgrade, and kind of walk away. And you saw the old version and new version was confirmed. And now we just wait. Here's the IPMI procedure. Uncheck both. That's the screenshot's a little old. Need to make a new one. Wait about 5 minutes. When it's done, rebooting. And it has me unplug the power cord. But since the download directions I just did don't even mention that anymore, I'm going to skip that step. And maybe I'll revise my directions if it ends up working well. If a couple people, report to me, yeah, that didn't work out so well for me, well, then I need to go back and revise again. Feedback via Twitter, or even better, comments below my articles, always appreciated. There it is, 3.86 instead of 3.68. So if you have dyslexia, it might be a little tough to remember that one. Firmware build, sure, the date. And how about my BIOS version? System's off. Okay, I'll go ahead and boot it up. Okay, we're back, logging in, and there it is. So I'm confident I'm done, and actually I'm moving to vSphere 7 tonight from the 6.5 that I'm currently, 6.7, excuse me, update 3 that I'm currently on. So hopefully you found this video helpful. I want to thank you for watching and for visiting Tinker Try IT at Home. And you'll see I have quite a collection of articles on vSphere 7. Check them out. Thank you again. Bye now.